Hello, good afternoon, all the participants. Thank you very much for joining in big numbers once again. Um, I feel stress is one element in our professional lives that is a matter of concern for everyone, and I don't think there is any professional that hasn't gone through stress and or stressful times at one point or the other. So this very important subject that if stress is inevitable, how can stress is inevitable? How can one convert that into positive energy? Which is what we are going to discuss today. And I hope all of you are going to enjoy this session a lot. I'm sure this is going to be very useful for you. Let's keep this session as interactive as possible. And it's only through this interaction that you're going to get the maximum value out of this. So for today's session, one good thing is that the session has been promoted to members in Pakistan, members in Sri Lanka, members in Bangladesh, our employers in Pakistan, uh, ACCA staff members, colleagues. So we'll be seeing a very, very diverse audience. But the one thing in common is going to be that all of you are professionals. Some accountants, some non-accountants. For example, our marketing team is a part of the webinar as well. So I'm sure you're all going to enjoy a lot. We have our expert trainer with us today once again, Mr. Mubin, who's, I think most of you are familiar with him. He's been conducting leadership trainings for us. He's been conducting negotiation skills and a lot many trainings in the past. So once again, thank you very much, Mubin Saab, for taking time out. So while I'm trying to keep you engaged for a little while, I'm giving Mubin Saab a breather to finish his food, his lunch. He's had a very busy day today, and he's going to jump straight into the webinar very, very soon. So thank you very much. And like I said, keep the session interactive. Do ask a lot of questions. Please note that the questions are going to be through the questions dialog box. And from time to time, we'll share the questions window with all of you to see, what are the comments being made by other participants in the call also. So good luck, and I'll hand over to Mr. Mubin Luck now. Mubin sir.
Thank you, Arun. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all the participants. My name is Mubin. I have been conducting webinars for ACCA for some time. I hope most of you know me. For those who are joining for the first time, let me give a brief introduction. I was a professor of marketing in Pakistan. I do corporate trainings in the area of soft skills. My focused area is leadership and personal development. Stress is an area which I learned because I went through this period of stress in my life, and during that period, I became very sick. I became anxious and started studying what is stress. And after understanding what is stress, I overcame that, and now today I do not have any symptoms of that illness that I suffered, and I have recovered 100% from those side effects. So stress is something very personal to me. I practice it on everyday basis because, as Harun said, if stress is inevitable, let me assure you, stress is the best thing that will happen to you. Don't make it inevitable. It is inevitable. It is there. It has to be there. It's a part of life. You like it or you don't like it. It's a part of life. The challenge is how to manage it. We cannot work without stress. Our success depends upon the level of positive stress that we take. And as you can see from this slide, managing stress is so easy. So as a corporate trainer, my focus is helping participants learn the skills of life so that they can enhance their performance. And stress is one of the biggest hurdles in the performance of most of the people. It burns us out if it's not managed properly. Managing stress is as simple as ABC. And we will share the ABC formula with you very shortly. I would like you to look at this first slide very closely. Read it. You will find out there are so many ways one can manage stress. There are 101 stress relievers written on this page. It has ask for help, daydream, look for something, make time to play, so many things. So it's very easy. So where is the complexity? Why people can't manage stress? I will help you understand how to manage stress in life and how to get the best out of it. So let's begin this stress management workshop, or rather a seminar, with a little stress related prayer. And I want you to say this prayer with me. Oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. This prayer is fundamental to stress. It highlights the formula for managing stress. Understanding the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. What can you change, what can you not, what you cannot. This stress is about the wisdom of living your life, a healthy life, a balanced life. So may God give you the wisdom to know the difference. And may this workshop help you in managing your stress in life. During the workshop, if you have any question at any point of time, you can write it down. We will try to answer your questions. Let's start with a little exercise. And I want you to do it with me if you want to understand stress. Make your arms like this, with your back of hand parallel to the ground, and your thumbs stretched outwards, elbows straight and stretched like this. Hold it there. Count to 20. But count slowly. You will see your hands moving like this or like this. If your hands start moving like this or like this, push them to the original position and say to your hands, stay there. You will start feeling pain in your shoulders. Your hands will go down again. Pull them up here. Now, imagine if I put a table tennis small ball on the top of your palms here, what will be the weight of these table tennis balls? Are they very heavy or light? Imagine two balls being placed on your palms, one here, one here. feeling their weight. Are they heavy or light? Although the weight of these table tennis balls is very light, but very soon you will start feeling the weight of these two small balls on your hand. Imagine you have your hands like this for 1 hour. What will happen? Imagine your hands are like this for 1 month. What will happen? And imagine if your hands are like this for 1 year. What will happen? Stress is just like that. If we keep on holding the slight weight of these tennis balls, it grows. It becomes heavy. We need to let go of this. We need to understand how to let go of these balls. If you keep this, imagine this tennis balls as a stress and it's in your mind. If they are there for 1 year, imagine the havoc they are playing. If you keep your hands like this for 1 week, your arms will be stiff. You will not be able to use your arms. Similarly, if you keep holding your thoughts in your brain for 1 week, for 1 month, for 1 year, and there are people who have those thoughts for the 10 years, 20 years, imagine how paralyzed their brain would feel. Stress is just nothing, but just like the weight of these tennis balls on your hand, it keeps on growing. As your muscles become weaker, the weight becomes increasingly critical. We will come back to this exercise. This is a very important exercise in helping you overcome your stress. We will discuss it later as well. What I want you to do, write your definition of stress. What do you think stress is? How do you define stress? Right? Please, can you open up the comment box and send it to me? Use the comment box and write your own definition of stress. How do you define it? I cannot see it. I want to see it. Okay. कौन से questions पर? कहाँ पे? कौन नहीं लगा? Can you help me? Okay. Pressure. Anything or event within the joint performance along with physical health. Okay, Sayyid Sarfraz. Good. Khwaja Muhammad is a pain of going through some unpleasant thing. A fear of anything going wrong. Shahzad Khan. Stress is what makes a person mentally, emotionally, and psychologically paralyzed. Good. Just let me get my glasses. Thank you. Okay. Depression or a fear of failure, Sadaf. Stress is what makes a person angry. Yeah. What is the difference between stress? What is the difference between stress and depression? Stress is what makes you behave differently. Stress is remaining under psychological strain. Yeah, this is a very basically stress is a strain, but a commonly used word is a stress. However, stress is basically strain. Stress is when you feel tension and mix of adverse emotions because of certain out of your control. Okay, stress is overthinking. Okay, Omar. Great. So now you all have your own definitions of stress. Excellent. Let me give you my definition of stress, the one that we will use in this workshop. Stress is basically a response that your mind and body gives to any event that could be a real or imaginary. So what is stress? Stress is a response of your mind and body to an event that is could be imagined or real. So when we look at this definition, it highlights that stress is a response. So there is a stressor and then there's a body response. There's a mind, there's a stressor, there's a way the mind responds. If we understand this response pattern, why my brain and body are responding in the way, we are able to manage. Most of you have written stress as a negative thing. They think stress is negative. Well, let's see. There's another definition. The threat, event, or change are commonly called stresses. All that things, they are called stresses. And stresses could be internal or external. Your thoughts are source of your stress, as well as an accident in the external environment is also a source of your stress. As I was saying, most of you have written stress definition as negative. I couldn't see one positive definition. So, and this is a myth. Not all stress is bad. Some stress is good, and without stress, we cannot do anything. We cannot even walk. We cannot even eat. We cannot even perform. Have you ever seen the top performing players in football, in basketball, in cricket, in all swimming competitions? The top players are performing because of stress, and that's a positive stress that they have in there. This type of stress makes us achieve our goals. This positive stress lets us get up in the morning and go to work. Competitiveness, sense of achievement, motivation, these are all different words for stress. And these are the positive words for stress. What will you do if you are not motivated? What will you do if you are not challenged? Our brain requires stress, our body requires stress to operate. In the absence of stress, we do not perform to our best. So the question is not that how stress is good or bad. Stress has both aspects. So there is one type of stress called eustress. The other is called the distress. Eustress is the positive side of the stress that we all should have. It's a necessary part. A person who has no eustress will become lazy, demotivated. couch potato. Whereas high amount of distress will lead you into different sorts of diseases. It will also demotivate you. You will not be able to perform to your best. And it will damage your body internally and will damage your relationships externally. So the question is managing a balance between eustress and distress. Rather, one should not move into distress and try to get out of distress into eustress as soon as possible. But distress will be there. We cannot avoid it. It will be there. The question is how fast you can convert your distress into eustress, or you can convert it into a positive need. So we cannot avoid it. We are not saying that there is no distress. The challenge is managing it. But remember, stress is positive. Before we move into other area of stress, let's understand how stress affects us. It's very, very important to understand the biology of stress. And this is what I understood during my illness. Why I am feeling weak? Why is this all happening to me? When I understood, I was able to control it. I was able to manage it. So let's understand the biology of stress. Remember, we as humans and all living beings like animals, we have been programmed with two basic responses in our life: fight or flight. They are more pronounced in animals as compared to humans. Humans have learned to create many more behaviors, but the basic behaviors remain the same: fight or flight. Now imagine, when you see a dog running towards you barking, now you have to choose your response. That's a situation of stress. The dog is going to attack you. You have two choices. You can start running, or you can turn around and pick up a stone or a stick or something and try to fight the dog with it. This is the fight or flight response. In our offices, when there's a work burden that's increasing dramatically, we also use the same. We do the fight or flight. When we say flight, we say, to hell with it, I will not do it. What will happen? They will throw me out, I don't care. Or I start burning myself. What is this nonsense? Why me? Why me? This is all flight. Or I say, okay, from today I'll take everything, I'll work it twice the time, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll fight it, I'll finish it. That's a fight response. When you have quarrels in your family, with your spouse, with your friends, with your siblings, with your sons and daughters or parents, when you have quarrels are common in every family. We again respond in the same way: fight or flight. We may respond to the quarrel in the same tones and the same coin. That's a fight. Or we say, we passively listen and we try to control the situation. That's a flight. So there are two responses, and stress is because of these two responses. Now the issue is duration. For example, you are driving a car, you are going to overtake, and suddenly you find out that you cannot overtake and there's another car coming at very high speed from your back or from your front. You go into panic and you pull your car towards your left. And that momentary response has created a stress in you. But this stress will go away in 1-2 minutes. But there are stresses which have a longer duration. months, years, those are the points that are bad in our life. These short durations, they do not do anything bad in our body. Our body becomes normal after a very short period of time. But if the situation is a long duration, for example, in a deteriorating relationship, you are in a stress. It could be a work-based relationship, it could be a family-based relationship. Or you are working in an environment which is high stress-based. That's an issue where things start to be bad. So let's understand the brain, body, and hormone interaction. It's all about hormones. The biology is about hormones. In order to understand how we respond, we need to observe the nature. Nature tells us a lot. Observe a cat, how the cat is responding to a dog. These are the same behaviors that we respond, but not in the way because we don't have the tail that becomes that big, or we don't have the tongue that gets out. But our internal body behaviors are create those more or less same type of response. Now, now let's understand how our body reacts to any event of stress. For example, the dog is attacking me. Let's take that as an example. Whenever the brain observes an event of stress, it becomes alert and it alerts our senses that there is a threat coming in, a potential danger. So to that we need to respond. In order to do that, remember the brain basic method of communication is through hormones. Brain releases hormones. In this case, there are two hormones. These are called stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. You all must have experienced the adrenaline effect or must have heard. We all have experienced the adrenaline effect. Something happens and our heart goes dug, 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 dug. Heart speed goes up. That rush of blood, that increasing the pace of the heart is the adrenaline effect. So as soon as brain sees a threat, it secretes, it orders the glands to secrete adrenaline. Now, adrenaline has multiple functions, but I will be talking about narrow function of adrenaline here. It gives a message to your body, I need energy. Brain orders that because we are going into fight or flight, either way. If we are going to run, we need energy. If we are going to fight, we need energy. And energy is created in our stomachs here. What happens? The adrenaline orders metabolism to increase. In order to increase metabolism, it requests liver and to release its fats, cholesterol, sugars that are burned. And the burning releases that energy, that heat, that energy. And these cholesterols and sugars and fats, as you know, are the source of fuel. They act as a fuel and they burn. Because there is a burning process occurring, it requires oxygen. Your body requires oxygen. And oxygen is provided through your lungs. Since the amount of oxygen intake is increasing, your breath becomes shallow, faster. You take deep breath, fast breath. You feel that like you are panting. Because now your lungs are working on a short frequency, but the frequency is increasing, the period is decreasing. So now you are taking fast breaths, the shallow breaths. Instead of deep breaths, now you are taking shallow breaths, so that more oxygen can be acquired from the atmosphere. So the burning starts in your, I would say, stomach. I'm using the common word so that everybody understands. And now that energy that has been produced needs to be transferred to the body, the muscles, so that if we are going to run, we should have energies. In order to do that, the heartbeat and blood pressure is increased. The increasing in blood pressure helps dissipation of the energy to body parts. At the same time, your saliva dries up and your mouth becomes very dry and your throat becomes very dry. And in order to focus the flow of energy to the particular parts of your muscles which are going to help you in fight or flight, that are your leg and your arms, all other functions are stopped or reduced. For example, blood flow to digestion and elimination, and the process of digestion and elimination is stopped. And the blood is focused again on your muscles. Since you are going to have either a fight or a flight, either case, your muscles should be ready. That means they become tense. When heat is being produced, there's an automatic mechanism of cooling off starts, which is perspiration. That's a radiator of the body. So our body starts to cool as well. So to manage the temperature, the perspiration starts to move. At the same time, the second hormone, cortisol, is released. Now, cortisol thickens your blood. Why? In either case of fight or flight, there's a danger of injury, and your blood, you could have a cut on your body. So to avoid that thing that you might go into a shock because of loss of blood, the blood agents that thicken the blood so that your blood clots quickly are released, which is cortisol. At the same time, this cortisol commands the thymus gland or our immune system to stop functioning. So our immune system is blocked. That's a sign. Since you are going into a fight or a flight, you need to be very active. Brain is very hyperactive, so sleep process is blocked. Now, have a total picture of what is happening in your body. There's a burning going on here. There's a heartbeat increasing, blood pressure has increased. Your muscles have become tense. Your blood has become thick. Your sleep system has been blocked. Your digestion systems and excretion systems have been blocked because of two hormones, adrenaline, cortisol. Now just imagine like this exercise, two small ping pong balls on your palms. If this thing continues, this state continues for 1 week, or 1 month, or 1 year, imagine what is happening to your body. Imagine. The first thing that you will notice that about your body, you will have a pain here, and you will put your 2 fingers like this here, and you will tell your doctor, "Doctor, I have a burning here, I have a pain here." You will put it. That's the first symptom of that you have a high level of stress. Because the burning is happening here, it will deplete your walls of your esophagus and this stomach, and there will be an ulcer. That's the first symptom that you are going through severe state of stress. And if people do not manage it, they run into the danger of having high blood pressures, strokes, diabetes, and all sorts of things, because now your immune system is also there. So this is what your brain is doing to you. And recently I heard a very beautiful saying. The brain is there to keep you in a state in which you feel comfortable. And if the stress becomes comfortable, imagine what will happen. You will stop feeling the stress, and it's like it will destroy you within, and you won't even feel it till the time you have a real issue of health. So chronic stress issues are difficult to manage. So does it mean we should have very little stress in life? No. You see, too much stress destroys immune system, and too little destroys immune system. But this destruction is something different. It makes your immune system so strong, you may have an autoimmune disease. And autoimmune diseases are those diseases that eat your body. Your immune system starts to eat your body. There are many diseases like that. I don't want to name even one of that disease. But when you have too little stress, you will run into danger of going into immune systems diseases. And if you have high stress, chronic stress, you again run into the danger of having serious diseases. So we must learn to have good level of stress in our life. So stress is understandable, it's universal, everybody has stress. There's not a single person. Even animals feel stress, even plants feel stress. And there are certain medicines that are given to plants to help them overcome that stress. And since it's a game of brain, that means the perceptions, our thought processes are the major source of stress. Bad habits create stress, and stress is not all bad. If I want to perform, if I want to succeed in life, I need stress. So we also know that we should be moving into eustress, and we should get out of distress as soon as possible. Now, let's move towards understanding stress. How do we know that I am stressed? As so far I have told you, stress is visible to yourself when your body reacts. So listen to your body. Stress is visible to you when you feel down, feel angry, feel anxious. So you should listen to your feelings as well. This stress affects you spiritually as well. You feel low energy, and you feel you are not happy, dissatisfied. You feel you do not have any purpose in life. You do not feel connected to the world, to yourself. That's the spiritual issues. And then you may hear your relationships complaining. You don't smile, you remain angry, you fight, you quarrel, you shout. So your relationships are not telling you you are under stress. In order to learn stress, there's a concept called mindfulness. If you do not understand that concept, you will never be able to manage stress. Managing stress requires mindfulness. Mindfulness is knowing what is happening within you and around you. It's coming to the conscious level of understanding and observing your environment, internal environment and external environment. And we will help you go to that state of mindfulness so that you understand how can you improve your stress. I would like you to measure your stress on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is low, 10 is high. Write that number and also write what event, what thing in life, what aspect of your life is creating stress in you. So write your number, measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is low stress, 10 is the highest level of stress, and identify what are the major sources of stress in your life. Can you write 1 or 2? Let's see. कैसे तो नहीं आएगा, वो नहीं आएगा. Work deadline 7 to 8. Sayyid Salam. Work pressure and child exam results. Waqar Alam. Can you measure? I'm waiting for your results. Wife shopping, I really pity you. Enjoy it. Some people are saying they cannot hear. So I'm not getting any responses so far. Can you measure your level of stress with 1 as low and 10 as high? I've only 2-3 responses so far. Okay. These are the various factors that makes us stressful. The way I drive, how my car is, my eating habits. Yes, my eating habits have a lot to do with stress. What do you eat when you are stressful? And what do you eat when you want to enjoy? How much do you eat? Food has a major impact on our stress behavior. When we drive fast, we become very, very stressful. And at times, people who are driving slow makes us stressful because we are already stressed. Work environment is another major source of stress. When you have long working hours, when there are few breaks, when there's a lot of mental pressures with a bad boss on top of it, when you don't see future in that organization, but when your satisfaction level is high, your stress level goes down. When you feel you are adding value in the organization, your stress level goes down. So our appreciation of the work that I am doing at my workplace helps us in either increasing the level of stress or decreasing. My family is another source that can either give me a eustress or a distress. If you have a loving family, and if you give time to your family, if you celebrate with your family, it creates eustress. On the other hand, bad relationships creates distress. Sometimes entertainment creates stress. There are some negative entertainments. For example, when you smoke a cigarette just to relax yourself, it creates stress. Taking drugs, it creates stress. Watching too much TV creates stress. So, but when you have positive entertainments, it creates eustress. So, not we have to understand what entertainment is healthy for me. When I'm stressed, there are many people who go for drugs, for smoking, and all these things. These things do not release stress, rather they create stress. They enhance the level of stress. They are temporary, artificial things that will destroy your life. Similarly, you can see your relationship with God or any supreme power that you believe, or with the purpose. Do you have a purpose? Or your relationship with yourself on top of it. How much do you love yourself? How much do you respect yourself? How much do you spend on yourself? How much do you really think about yourself? The more positive relationship that you have with yourself, better it is for stress. If you have a bad relationship with yourself, you don't like yourself, you are too critical of yourself. When you feel people around you are more successful than you, that's a time that means your stress level is going down. So be careful of that. Before moving into specific stress management skills, I want you to understand that stress management requires mindfulness. I'm again emphasizing mindfulness. Stress management requires taking control of your life. And there's no one way to manage stress. As you could have seen from the first slide and from this slide, there are 100 different ways to manage stress. Which is your way, the best method for you, you will have to choose. There's no one right method. It works differently for everybody. And you can use multiple methods at one time. But each method requires mindfulness. If there's no mindfulness, no medicine will affect. Nothing will work for you. These are the 7 methods, broad methods that I will be discussing it with you. Right now, I would like you to take a break, look at these methods. We'll take a 5 minutes break, relax yourself, Think about what we have just heard. Think about the hormonal interaction of our brain and body. Think about the fight and flight response. Become aware of your environment, become aware of your thoughts, become aware of your body. Take just 5 minutes, get up, relax, and after 5 minutes, we will come back at, let's take a 10-minute break. It's 4:05. We'll be back at 4:05. Thank you. Okay, Ji, welcome back. Welcome back to stress management and taking a break. We strategically took this break because when you are doing something and sitting there for 1 hour, your body needs to relax. And especially when you are sitting in front of a screen, listening, looking, you're passive, your body becomes stressed. You need to take a break. And when you take a break, get up. So every 1 hour, habit, you must take a break. The brain works in the when the of focus of a brain increases, the effectiveness, the efficiency of brain goes down. It negative say you. So when the time the proficiency goes down. So we create it so that our proficiency keeps at this level. We'll be taking breaks. So it's a part of the stress management, and you must in your workplace as I know of organizations which have a policy of compulsory mandatory breaks. Mandatory breaks. People must leave their jobs and go out to some other station somewhere where they are not allowed to come to work. Good. Okay, now let's move. So we are talking about 7 strategies of managing stress. And we will start from the most important thinking perception. We will be talking a little bit about emotion management. There's a seminar coming up on 1st of April, which will be talking in detail about emotional intelligence and managing emotions. So let's start about thinking and the role of our management. As I said, managing is as easy as ABC. It is as easy as ABC. As you can see, A stands for awareness, mindfulness. What is happening, why it is happening, understanding the sources of stand environment, your body relationship, mind. B, creating a balance. That's an effort that you put in. It will not be an automatic thing. The balance needs to be created by our efforts. And C is control, taking control of your life. And another way to look at it is another ABC, same as ABC. A stands for the activity or the stressor that is creating that stress. Identify what is that stress. I remember a story. They say if a dog falls into a well, you clean the water. Well, some people said take out buckets of water and throw it out, the ball will be clean. Everybody advice. One person stood up. Everything is all right. First, take the dog out of the well. If the event is not being managed, the stress will be managed. Second thing, related to that event, understand your behavior. How do you respond? In those moments, what are your thought patterns? Again, mindfulness. See yourself becoming angry. Imagine becoming angry and listen to the thoughts that are within you. Hear them, feel them. And then C is what can you change? Control when we can change something. So A, B, C, become aware of activity or event. A is awareness and A is activity. Becoming aware of event that is there. Why? What is happening? Why is it happening? Why are you feeling stress? Is that cause of sometimes you are not, you don't know why are you anxious? Why are you itchy? Why are this fighter? Why are you shouting? It could be because of the stress that you have at the workplace. It could be because of a stress that because of your children, and your stress is emerging place another time, but the cause is there. So anything could create that, but we have to understand the source of this stress. Where is that dog? We have to take the dog out of the milk. And then you must understand, for example, for organizations you see there are fire drills occasionally. There is a fire drill. Why? Now those fire drills help you create the behavior that is required in case if there is a fire. They will give again and again scenario of fire and will create behavior to respond. So they create your response because if you are not prepared and in case of fire respond fight or flight way, you will have a programmed response, which is a better response. C is, and here you see control. When we take control only, then we can change. If we have no control, we cannot. So let's see what can we change and what can we control. That now it can how to manage stress in situation of an activity. So as you can see, 5 strategies. AAA BC. This is the first model for managing AAA BC. First model of management. First thing, event. Change the event if you can. Avoid the event if you can. Accept the event. Remember wisdom, understanding the difference between what I can change and cannot. If you want to be happy, beautiful quotation. What get what you love or love what you have. You will be happy in both the situations. But if you cannot get what you have and you are not happy with what you have, you will be in a miserable position because you want something that you cannot get and you something that you do not have. Since you cannot, you will be miserable. So, source of happiness is get what you want or love what you have. So let's start with A, alternate. First A, alternate. Now remember, stress is a part of decision making, creativity, alternatives. How good you are in decision making. What sources can you create? What alternatives do you have? Can you create some new event? Can you alter the event? Change the event? Or can you avoid it? Or you say, how can I avoid? For example, I have a bad boss. How can I avoid it? Or I have some issues in my relationship. How can I avoid it? many, many ways of avoiding it, and there are many ways of altering it. For example, let me tell you one avoidance and altering. When I when altering means creating a new solution for the problem, finding a new or new mechanism, alter that, create something, solve the problem, find a new mechanism. You can have technology that can take away part of your workload, or you can ask some person to take that, delegate that task to that person. That's a way of avoiding that thing. That's a way of thing. Sometimes we walk away by saying no. Say no, we avoid. And saying no is a very important step in stress management. It's a very, very important thing. At times, most of us say no. We do not know how to say. And there are at least 50 different ways of saying no. You can give a logical answer of saying no. You can politely say no. You can give some excuse in the form of a no. Right now, I'm a little busy. That's a no. Or you straightforwardly say, sorry, I cannot do that. You can avoid going to those places. You can avoid those friends and those people. And again, remember, it's only because when we have control of, if there's a friend who is creating some problems, or there's a person who's creating a problem, we can avoid. We should not go to the environment that is that person that gives me stress. There are certain entertainment that you feel are giving you stress. Change those entertainment with another entertainment. There are the habits that give you stress. Change those habits. For example, one very common habit that creates a lot of stress is times. When we sleep late and rise up early in the morning, it plays havoc with the entire. We don't understand it. But the hormonal system of body does not operate this way. The natural body's cycle is something very different. Create a different pattern of your sleep, alter it, create new habits. So first thing, if you can alter it, you can change it, if you can remove the source of stress by changing something, remove the source of stress. What is it that is causing you stress? Remove that thing in your life. It could be as easy as changing your bed. Foam really creates stress. You should have a good foam, which should not be comfortable, that you sunk in, be too hard, creates a pain in your body. You have it, that's an alternative, change it. And as we will discuss in next section, your clothing. Your clothing gives you stress. Change your clothing. Change your shoes. Alter it. You must identify. Or it could be your change, the way you think, that is what we change your thinking, or removing the source of your thinking. Sometimes avoid it, then accept it. And look for positive. For example, spouses. Everybody thinks about having a perfect spouse in the world. Wife wants a perfect husband and a husband wants a perfect wife. And when we don't have a perfect person, we become angry. We can't avoid them. They are there. It could be your parents, it could be your family, it could be your spouse. How to avoid it? Avoidance is not the strategy there. Relationships need something different. And what we do need, we'll see. See how many ways you can change your age. For example, when you go to office in the morning, there's too much rush. Change your time. Today, I came to my office at 8 a.m. instead of 9 because I have a lot to do. It was a very busy day for me. When I normally drop my children at school, we leave early when there was, so that I don't have to really feel that I'm getting late or my children are getting late. So we modify our stressors. When you are constantly, you understand the source. You were not able to get up early in the morning because you slept late in the night because there was a movie, hang out with the friends. Change. If you're dissatisfied, a major source of stress, change your job. Please change your job as soon as possible. And soon should become very soon, because a dissatisfied job environment really takes out the potential from you. It destroys you thoroughly. Love what you do, wherever you are. Love what you do. Add value, because what value you will add, it will be added in you. Love it. Even if you are doing a very small work like cleaning dishes, love it. Because that will become part of your habits, of your personality. You will improve. Don't take anything small. Love it. So, question is, what can you do to change? See, what can you do to alter? What can you do to avoid? It's again mindfulness, control. If you have no control, then I'm sorry, nothing can be done. If you believe you have no control in your life and somebody else is controlling, okay, I cannot do anything about it. Sorry. Only if you believe you can control your life, you are able to manage stress. And as far as I concerned, my belief is the day you will have no choice, it will be the day that you will die. There are no choices. Between your birth, on the day of your birth, you had no choice. The day you will have no choice. Otherwise, life is full of choices. The question is, can you identify? Can you execute? Do you have the power? Do you have the willingness and the motivation? Only then stress management will work. So first strategy, think very strongly. Can you remove the source of stress? Can you avoid the source of stress? And third, nothing works. Live with the devil. Be the beauty that lives with the beast. Starts loving the beast. And they live ever after. Accept it. We might have been born to a family where my parents are not that good, they are not that intelligent, or I have some siblings that we have a personality clash. I might have a boss that who is very, very bad. I might work in an organization that is not that dynamic. I might be living alone, or my work timing could be very, very long. Accept that you have chosen to be there, or you have no choice. Your siblings will have something positive. Look for the positive. Your parents love you in their own way that you may not understand. Accept. When you accept, the stress goes down. And then your mind starts working, how can you improve? Read about those people who became billionaires from dust, J.K. Rowling's. For one, Steve Jobs. So many people in this world who had so many difficulties. These top people are not easy to work with because no one knows his anger. He was a very angry person. How can you work with such a person? You have to accept this is the beast. Be the beauty who lives with the beast. Triple A. So let's repeat triple A. First, can you do something to alter it? Have a solution? Can you avoid? If nothing works, accept it. The first three, if you can work on first three A's, only then the next will be there. You can build resistance or you can change your perceptions. Threes, you have to understand. There's no other option but have three. Can you think of another option? Do let me know. Now, building resistance. Stress has a lot to do with your body, as I've told you. So when you have a strong body, it creates a resistance. Not only body, but your environment, social. You're in a strong environment. So if you look at this slide, you will see building your physical strengths, which is diet, exercises, mental strengths, developing strong mental thinking, positive attitudes, having goals, ambitious goals, very, very important to develop your mentally. Then so your network. Loneliness is the biggest killer. I can share findings of a Harvard study, which was a 75 years long. It had study continued for 25 years. And one thing that we concluded, the question was, how do people become satisfied and happy in their life? What makes people happy and satisfied? They tracked around 700 people for 75 years. And the conclusion was relationships. It's the quality of relationships. When you are spiritually down, regardless of which religion do you belong, all religions have this concept of spirituality. Become a spiritual person. Yoga teaches spirituality. Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Islam, about spirituality. So when you are spiritually linked, you become satisfied. So you build resistance. These are the four methods of building resistance. Exercise, we're talking about it. Mental, we'll be talking about it. Social, we will be talking again. And then so this C is what can you change? Again, alter and avoid. But what can you change in your thinking and everywhere? Where can you change? Right? So let's talk about changing our thinking and perception. This slide is very, very important. I want you to have a look at it, deep look. People are not disturbed by things, but the view which they take of them. That means stress is created by your perception of things. The event does not create stress. No event in the world creates stress. No accident, no loss creates stress. No goal, no job, no boss. No one can create stress. It's only you who can create stress in your body. The world combined cannot create stress in you. It only takes one person, that is you, to create stress in you. People are disturbed by things, but the view that takes us to perception. There's an event and there's a mental appraisal going on, and we create a response. Fight or flight, fight or flight. Stress is not created because of the event that occurs in the environment, rather it is the what you say to yourself when you observe the event in the environment. So let's talk about your talk, the mental talk. Let's talk about what do you say to yourself. Be very careful of your personal talks. They are the most important. What you say, the words that you use, that you think. See, by now you must have understood that stress and fear have something in common. Yes, it's the fear that creates stress. Happiness does not create stress. It's created useless. That distress is created because of the fear. And the good thing or a bad thing about fear, it could be real or imaginary. When we say real threat, real fear, dog attack you, a man pointing the gun at you, that's a real threat, real fear. But an imaginary, you imagine you are going for a presentation tomorrow and something might go wrong, or somebody will ask you a question that you will be unable to answer. What if you would not? What if this happened? What if that happened? So that personal negative thought and what if scenarios, fear in us, imaginary fear. We feel, what if go wrong, I will be insulted. That creates stress. What if the person said no? That creates stress. So most of the fears are imaginary. There are very few real threats. So we need to understand how to. So we need to overcome our fears. We need to acknowledge this. And how do you overcome your fear? Very, very simple. Believe me, life is simple. We make it complicated. It's very, very simple. Fear, like this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, in parts now. There's only one way to manage fear. Face it. Bring it to the light. Don't hide it. Fear dwells in darkness. It dwells when it's inside you. Once in the light, it disappears. Acknowledging fear removes fear. It runs away. Bringing the fear out in the light reduces it to ashes. It does not dwell in light. It does not live there. Make it visible, talk it out. So now let's improve our psychological health. And this is the important section of this presentation. This is what I learned and I applied and I got 110% result. If you understand this, the rest is very easy. But if you cannot understand this, it will be difficult. At this time, I would like to take your questions before I move into this area. Are there any questions that you would like to ask me? Are there any questions so far that you would like to ask me? Are there any questions that you would like to? Are there any questions that you would like to ask me? Delayed response. Okay. If there's any question, do let me know. Okay, let's continue. Since there's no question so far, let me just move it here. So now let's look at how to change our thinking. We'll be talking about changing thinking, enhancing your confidence. There's a technique called NLP and emotional intelligence, EQ. Stress is caused by virtue of our thinking. If we can change our thinking, we can change our behavior. And when we change our behavior, we change our lifestyle. Important point is changing our thinking. So when we change thinking, you see, we change our expectations. When we change our expectations, we change our beliefs. When we change our beliefs, we change our attitude. When we change our attitude, we change our behavior. When we change our behavior, performance. When we change our performance, we change our life. And when we change, everything changes. Let's understand how to change our thinking. So if you look at how to change your thinking, that's where everything starts. Thinking. Thinking is not but the sentence that we create about any situation. It's nothing but the words that we express our understanding. It comprises of three things. Any thinking comprises of three things: words, pictures, and emotions. Now imagine the dog running behind you. Describe that feeling using different words. I was scared. It beat the hell out of me. Or I said, no way, I will never let this happen, and I fought. The words that you are using. Those words, they create the hormones that your brain uses to control you. Negative words create negativity in your body, and positive words create positivity in your body. With each word, the scenario that we are accessing creates a picture in my mind. Imaginary scenario, I create a picture. I see myself doing it. For example, going for a presentation in front of the board of people, 1,000 people. You see yourself doing it, and you access that picture. If that is positive, your body responds positively. If your picture is negative, your body responds negatively. And the third thing is the feelings or the that you use to express that thing. If the dog is running, you are feeling fear. There is a big challenge given to you by your organization. You feel challenged, excited, or fearful. What do you feel? If you feel excited, your body will be positive. If you feel afraid, your body will be negative. So when we say thinking, need to change our thinking, we need to change the words that we use. We need to see pictures in a different format, or we need to express or assign different feelings to that phenomena. Let me help you understand it even in a better way. Suppose your boss, your spouse, your children, your brother, sister, sibling is very angry with you. Is shouting. Now, since the response, it depends upon your response, how would you behave, not they. How would you behave, first of all? The words that you will use. Something you feel sympathy for them, something have gone, it could be it could be you created that or somebody else. You use the word, my sister, my brother, my boss is right now feeling very angry. But the anger is not towards you. It's towards an event that has occurred. So you are not internalizing. And you see a picture of that person is very helpless. You cannot control his or her anger. And the emotions that you are accessing right now are of sympathy. So the whole scenario will change. For example, I read a story some time ago. A man was traveling in a train and with three children who were very naughty and making lots of noise, and they were creating havoc in the train. A man sitting next to him said, "Sir, why don't you control these children? They are playing, they are so naughty." The man looked at the other person and said, "Their mother has just died." This changed the entire perception of the person and he became sympathetic. The situation of stress changed to a situation of sympathy. There was no stress in the situation. Look at the words, the sentences, the pictures, the feelings that you are using to describe an event. Listen to the words. I have got such a bad boss. He's a madman. My wife or my spouse is no good. Understand those words. Listen to those words. Change those words. Access those pictures. Feel emotions that you really feel. Avoid those negatives because when you use these words which are negative, they destroy your self. Converting the words into positive words have a very magical effect on your brain. As I've told you, it's all about hormones, and brain secrete hormones in the light of the situation that you are perceiving. You might have people taking risk in their life, jumps, bungee, adventures. So they associate those words with the challenge, with the positive feelings. And there are people who say, "Oh, it's afraid." They use the word fear. So the brain reacts in the form of fear. Be very careful of your words. Your self-esteem, respond, depends upon the situation that you see. When we compare ourselves negatively to others, we go down. Our self-esteem. And self-esteem is one of the most important thing in stress. When your self-esteem goes down, your stress goes up. How much? What do you talk about when you talk to yourself? Are you complaining? You are craving? When you talk to other people, do you complain? Self-esteem. That's where confidence. You is a state of positive confidence. It gives you comfort. Distress is a state of low confidence and low self-esteem. And confidence is nothing but the statements that you give to yourself, how good you are in relationship with others. You see yourself, that's a picture of yourself. Talk to yourself in a positive way. So I want you to make a list of those words that create stress in your body. What words, negative words, do you use on an everyday basis that create stress in your body? Can you make a list? Can you share this list with me? List of those words. Can you share this list? I've opened. Can you write down words that create stress in your body? You are not good enough. Exactly. This is one of the most poisonous words. When it says it to you, are not good enough, how do you respond? Yes, reflecting on yourself, he or she might be right. I'm not that good. How do you respond? Have you ever word to your own self? You're not enough. Yes. These words, these are poisonous words. These are poisonous words. Never, never, never take these words in your heart. You are not good enough. Who is good enough? I don't know. You be, yes, be very, very careful what people are saying to yourself. This is how you create stress in yourself. You must be aware of the words that you commonly use and avoid them. If you want to manage stress, avoid them. Made some list of words for you. These are very common words. Always, never. You always do this. You are never there. Always do this. Always make this mistake. These general words, if are used in a positive way, they are excellent. But if you are used in a negative way, they are destructive. I cannot. I'm I'm a failure. You are. I'm demotivated. And the worst word that I would request never, never, never use for yourself and other is I am depressed. Never use this word. This is using this word when you use depressed, imagine the whole body, the whole hormone system that's going, it destroys your body. The word I and I'm depressed, they are atomic bombs for your body. Be very careful of the words, replace them. Create new words, change. We was looking at change. Want create a new meaning, alter the meaning. Let's alter. Can you suggest a new meaning of frustration? Can you alter, make it a positive meaning? Is there a positive message to fear? What is the positive message of anger? And what is the positive message of tired? Minute, these words into positives. Change, alter them. This is alter. A, B, C. Alter it, avoid it, accept it. So let's understand how to alter it. Frustration, alter it. Create a new meaning. Fear, create a new meaning, a positive meaning. Anger, create a positive meaning. Alter the meaning of anger, what you understand. And tired, alter the meaning of this word. And write these new meanings to me. Share your meanings with everybody. Take 2 minutes, write it down. रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आता लोग लिख नहीं रहे
They should be writing it.
आई डोंट नो या तो आवाज नहीं बीच में कहीं तो भाई गूगल कॉलम बनाने में लिखा है क्या आवाज निकल गई तो मैंने किया उसको आई डोंट नो रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा लोग लिखें 2-3 दफा मैं ट्राई कर चुका हूँ एक दफा बहुत डिलेड रिस्पॉन्स आया कोई 10 मिनट के बाद
आवाज में से प्रॉपर क्या होगी?
आई डोंट नो ट्राई कर रहा हूँ Now, can you think how convert anger into positivity? How can you create tiredness into a positive outcome? What could be the best positive thing about anger, about frustration? How can you alter this meaning of these words so that whenever you hear these words or feel these words, if they are in the positive sense, that's how we change our words, our thinking. Change your thinking. Convert anger into positivity. Convert tiredness into positivity. Convert frustration into positivity. How can you do that? Please share new meaning with me. What are the new meanings of frustration, the positive meaning of frustration? कैमरा बंद करो. Okay. Okay. What are the responses, Junaid?
Yeah, we have got some responses from the audience. Like Wokar is saying the frustration means futile resistance.
Frustration, futile resistance. Vakar is again negative. It's again negative. Convert it into positive. Futile, the word futile is giving your brain a message this is useless. And when you feel something is useless, you become angry and you become stressed. Convert it into positive. So think about again. Some delay. Okay, now I'm getting the responses. There was a delay in my system. Now I got. Frustration is energetic. Yes, 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 yes. Tired. No, tired is not less energetic. Yeah, but okay. A feeling of uncomfortableness. This again negative. See, the challenge, this is the challenge that I want to highlight. I think it's difficult to find out some positive words. Whatever word we are using, negative word. So we are accessing. So, for example, a feeling of uncomfortableness. Now imagine you're sitting in a position uncomfortable. Are you feeling good? No. So when we want to change our thing, we need to have a positive word. We need to have a positive. We need a positive feeling. All three positive. That's a challenge. That is why changing thinking is not so common, and that is why I'm trying to do. Tell you how to do it. But right now, I want you to find a way to find good words. Not I'm not feeling I'm feeling uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is not a positive word. Okay, let me share some changing words with you. Frustration. When do you feel frustrated? When do you feel frustrated? When you believe from the heart you have the ability to find the solution, yet something is missing, and trying to figure out that little thing, and you are excited, but you cannot get the hold of that thing. It's the positive state of mind where you believe you can do it. You only need one positive direction, one hint, one idea that will click. Frustration. Let me share the story of Archimedes. Archimedes, who discovered the buoyancy principle. When the king asked, how can I differentiate between the two crowns, which is one is made of solid pure gold, one made of without destroying it, he went into a state called thinking state. He's thinking, trying to do something. That was a state of frustration where he's trying to find out. Think of Edison trying to develop a light bulb. 9,000 experiments have people say you have failed. He said, no, I've not failed. I'm not the right one. This is the feeling of frustration. I can't do it. I just need little help there. It's a positive. Imagine the energy that you have in you. When you are frustrated, you are motivated. You look here, you look there, you read, you try, you discuss. Sometimes pull your hair, yeah, why not? It's not happening. But you are not disappointed. You are frustrated. It's positive. Fear. What could be good about fear? It's the most dreadful word. What could be good about fear? When we're afraid, we become alert. Fear is a message to our body. Something is not right. You better be alert. It makes us awake of the dangers. It makes us alert and more puts energy in us. It makes us ready. It's a fear that creates our instinct so fast that we blink in hundredth of a second. It's a fear. You move our card like this. That's a fear that makes us react. It's a it's a friend. harness it, collaborate, friendly. Then anger. Let's see. Anger. Anger should be your friend. It's not an enemy. It's your personal friend. It helps you explain to other that your expectations are not met. Your values have been compromised. It's the best method to explain to other that you are hurt. But an uncontrolled anger, source of a negative stress. But a controlled anger, by the way, creates the best positive stress in you that you can imagine. The controlled anger creates the best positive state in your mind and body. While an uncontrolled anger, where you do not know how to control your anger, you do not know the source, and it creates distress. Anger is a personal friend. It helps you in expressing your feelings to others. It helps you in that boundaries, that lines that people should not cross. It helps you clarifying their expectations to others. Anger is a friend. And the last one is tired. When do you feel tired? When you have really achieved, you have done something very good and you have worked really hard to achieve a result. When you are tired, give yourself excellent work. It's time to recharge, time to relax, it's time to enjoy. It's time to love. It's time for entertainment. You have done something very good. Have you ever got tired of loving? Never. So tired is physical. It's time for the body to enjoy and relax after hard work. You have achieved something. So similarly, we need to appreciate our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions. Change your change the words. And if you look at there's a slide I'll share with you. The previous that I shared. Happiness is a word that we use to describe situation. And as the level of happiness increases, the word changes from smile to laugh. Level of happiness increases, changes. So when you want to enjoy life, the word that you would like to use. Please avoid negative words to express any. It could be that could be fatal or not. Could people have could be become injured or nothing have happened. But use words to those incidents in a positive manner. Don't use negativity in your thoughts. Think it's nothing but the words that you use to describe that feelings. So, first skill about managing stress is you should be aware of your thinking. Be very careful. Everything starts from there. It's your hormone system that ends up with your brain, and brain is linked to words that you associate, you use to describe the pictures that you use to access the feeling to assign with that event. And again, mindfulness. Take a moment and listen to your words, listen to the feelings, observe your body. We will improve our control. So, first skill is thinking and perception. Here again, it's 1 hour. We'll take 10 minutes break. And when we will come at 5:20, we will start with the rest of the presentation. In the meanwhile, ponder on the words, feelings, emotions, how to change your thinking, observe your thinking, be critical of your thinking, and if possible, identify how can you alter your thinking. So when we'll come back, we'll be discussing these issues with you. Yeah, take a break. Okay, welcome back. Before going for the break, we were discussing some strategies to change our thinking. There are some questions from the participant that I would like to address. Waqas Rafiq and Waqas Zubairi, they asked two questions. How do we manage the risk involved in confronting the manager? You know, he is not always right. This is also a big stress as to what will be the consequence of this. Okay, now, Waqas and all other participants, confronting, observe this word, confronting, you are in a fight mode. This is confront. This is confront. You are in a fight mode. You are using the word to describe a situation in which you are getting mentally ready to fight. Change your thinking. Change the words. Collaboration. He may not be right, so you also at times you may not be right, and he has the right to be wrong, and you have the right to be wrong. It is how you create a dialogue, how you listen, and if he is wrong, never tell that person that he is wrong. Even you won't like it. Even you won't like it. Nobody will like it when they're told you are wrong in the face on the face. Let me ask another story with you. I asked my teacher, why is truth so bitter? For people in Pakistan who study Urdu, sach kadwa kyun hota hai? Why the truth is so bitter? My teacher looked at me and smiled and said, Mubin, is mango a sweet fruit or a bitter fruit? I said, mango is a sweet fruit. He said, Mubin, what if you give this mango to a person who is suffering from fever and whose taste of mouth is becoming really bad and bitter taste, he has bitter taste in his mouth, and you give this sweet apple to that person, what will that person say? I said, you'll say, it's bitter, it's not tasty, it's bad, and this and that. But the mango was sweet. I said, yes, mango was sweet. I said, Mobeen, understand. The bitterness is in our belief systems. It's in our personalities. The person who's saying the truth, either he's saying in a bitter way, or the person who is listening to the truth is listening in a bitter way. Our job is to tell the truth, but first prepare the mind. Develop the relationship with that person. Tell the truth in a way that the person, it helps that person. Let me write one word on the slides. I want you to closely observe that thing. Let me just get out of this presentation. And I'm going to write one word here. Focus on this word. Think. The word is think. Whenever we talk to someone, always think. This is what we are talking, change your thinking. T means, is it true, whatever you are saying? Is it true? H means, is it helpful? Whatever you're saying, is it helping the person or not? You are in confrontation mode. It may not be helpful. Is it inspiring? Whatever you are saying, even the manager is wrong, can you inspire that person so that he looks at the right picture, the positive picture, the better picture? Is it necessary? Let him be wrong sometimes. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes people are realize their mistake with the passage of time. It's a part of the learning. It's not necessary to point out flaws and faults every time. Let some people learn. It may not be necessary. And K, is it kind? It could be very true. Whatever you are saying to your manager is very helpful. It's very necessary. But are you using the kind methodology, kind way to talk to that person? My friend, don't use the word confrontation. Use help. Use dialogue. Use questions. Use insight. Ask a question, insightful question. Sir, you must have thought about, you must have given a lot of thought about it. However, what if this happens? Have you thought about this? Or you are very intelligent and you do everything. However, this time I have identified one error here, which if you remove, it will be very helpful for all of us. So be very kind. Be very kind. Think. So I hope I was able to answer one question. Waqas Zubairi, you asked another interesting question. Had to travel outside Pakistan as part of my current job, and my father is living alone back in Pakistan. That creates stress. Alternate, change your job. Avoid it. Say, I'm not going outside. Or accept it. Right? There's no other way. This is what happens. I have to go out. My family lives alone. They accept it. It's a part. I may not be a frequent traveler like you. Find a mechanism. Find something, some support mechanism. If not possible, I know thousands of people, not one, thousands of people who have left states, UK, Germany, and came back to their country. It could be India, it could be Pakistan, it could be Sri Lanka, it could be any country. They have come back to their countries because of their families. Their mother or father was ill or old, and they want to be with them. So they left that job, that country, and came back. Accept it, alter it, avoid it. There's no fourth option, I'm sorry. You also know so many people. So it's the nature of the beast, accept it. Or change. Okay, let's move forward. Be careful of your emotions. Emotion is a multiplier. It exaggerates everything. So be very careful of the emotional words that you use. It's a multiplier. It exaggerates. Okay, now let's move towards the work-lifestyle management. As you can see, our habits create stress, our foods create stress, our dressing creates stress, our driving creates stress, and our sleeping creates stress. Let's talk about dressing, and I'll give you a very easy tip. I use it myself, and I found it to be very, very, very effective. Your shoes. Yes, start from your shoes. If you work in an environment which is high stress, or you have a personality that responds very negatively to stress situation, you have a high stress situation, high personality, never wear shoes that have laces. And if you have to wear laces while you are sitting on your desk, untie your laces or lose your laces. Laces should not put pressure on that on your the top of your leg of your feet, on the bone that is that hump of on your feet. Those laces should not put pressure there. It creates stress. Use moccasins or take off your shoes if possible while you are working. And when you are going, wear those shoes. You will find that by changing the shoe style, you will feel relaxed. Sometimes we wear shoes out of fashion which are not comfortable. They are maybe smaller size or tight. Change. Stress, if you keep your feet very healthy and light and easy, your body will feel easy. Second thing, young, tie better, neckties. The simple rule is you should be able to, if you are wearing a tie, this should have, you can put your two fingers here. That's a simple rule. If you cannot do this, you are creating stress in your body by virtue of your dress. Third thing, when you are stressed, don't use dark, sharp colors, dark colors. They are not good. Use bright colors. They have a positive effect on your body. Cleanliness of your body plays a major role in helping you in stress. Keep your body clean. Don't eat too much piles of fats in your food, especially during lunch hours and at night. Fat creates problem when you are stressed. There's already burning going on. It enhances the activity level and creates ulcer, helps in creating ulcer. Use fruits, carbohydrates, more fiber. Should have lots of fiber. Sugars are bad, just like fats. You should be very careful about your meals because food creates stress. So your morning meals should have high level of energy rather than high amount of fats. But don't use these artificial fats or artificial sweeteners. These are very, very bad for your health. Avoid this junk food. Avoid carbonated drinks. Carbonated drinks and junk food, they create more stress in your body than you can handle. If you have to take tea, take green tea and less black tea. It reduces the amount of stress in your body. Some amount of black tea is, or coffee is okay. It helps you keep awake. Let's move to the third skill, managing relationships. And let me start with a story. Leave the stress at the door. There was a manager in an organization who used to work very hard in a very challenging environment. But whenever he reaches his home, he would touch leaves of a plant that was planted outside his door. For a few seconds, he will hold them and will touch them like this, the leaves of the plant. And when he goes inside, he's a totally different man. He's laughing, smiling, chatting. So people ask, what do you do there? What is this habit of yours? Whenever you reach home, you touch the leaves, you do like that, you talk to them, and then you move in. He says, my office work is so stressful. When I reach home, I don't want to take that stress with me, those burdens with me. So I leave all the stress and the burden with the plant and I go home as a fresh man. In the morning when I come out, I take those stress and burdens from there and I go to my work and start working right from there. So relationships are very important. Don't let your relationship be spoiled because of your stress. Leverage your relationships. And how to do that? As I said, stress and fear have a lot in common. And stress tends to be reduced the more we discuss it positively with someone. Relationship is there to help you, to support you. Communicate. The more you communicate, the less you will feel stressed. Now, what we need, I want you to take 2 minutes and write a letter to your friend, to your spouse, to your parent. I want you to write a letter explaining your situation of stress. But the most important part, when you write, you must identify what solutions are you thinking in that letter. Write a letter to your friend, could be your spouse, your parent, highlighting your situation in which you are feeling stress. What is happening? Elaborate and exactly highlight what is happening in your life. And then tell them, I am thinking of these two options or three options. What do you think? Seek their advice, seek their support. I want you to write this letter right now. Take 2 minutes and write this letter to your friends, to your parents. Okay. Okay. So tell me, did you write the letter? Have you? Okay. There are a few questions that I would like to answer. Tahir Mansoor asked, I have an insight. How should I create self-confidence when I have been bullied and when I have always been felt that I'm not good enough and have been made accountable for all the mistakes I have made? Yes, Tahir, this is a tragedy that most of us have felt in our life. Almost all of us. Question is now, can you respond? This is what has happened, people have done to you. And at times these accidents occur in our life. Now it's time for us to reflect, recreate, repaint, rebuild, repicture our life. Those have happened. Put it aside. Now look at yourself in a new picture. How can those events help you become stronger? How can you create a shield around you that can protect you from such things in the future? You will meet people who will bully you. How can you take a stand? You should never let people bully you. And if they are, you have to take a stand. You must know how to and when to take a stand. There's no, you have to seek support sometimes. Sometimes legal support, sometimes moral support, sometimes other supports. Okay, let's move forward. Now I want you to, okay, very good. You have written. Now, those who have written, I want you, just a minute. I want you to reply the letter, think you are the friend, and just write 2 lines on which choice should you take. As a friend, what would be your advice? Just choose. You see, all answers are within us. And the best anybody can do is to identify the solution that is closer to your heart or can guide you to a better solution. When you talk to a person, the person will do nothing, will be act as a mirror to understand what you are, and will help you vent your feelings out. And if that person is logical and intelligent, it will help you create a positive picture of that thing. That is what wisdom is all about. Never label a person in the negative way. If you have to talk, criticize, do it in a positive way. Help the person see the different picture, the positive side, improvement side. Appreciate the effort. But when the person writes down, help that person in understanding his feeling or her feeling and link it to that situation. Let the person vent out the feelings. So, how do you manage relationships? First of all, in a situation of stress, the least word that we use is love, but the most required word is love. If you can't find anyone to say love, say to yourself, I love myself. Can you say, I love my job? Can you say, I love my family? Accessing this word, the feelings associated with this love, creates positive emotions and positive hormones in your body. I want you to say it aloud to yourself. I love myself. Hug yourself. Enjoy this feeling of love. Feel the feeling of love for yourself. Love yourself. I love myself. And if you have somebody around that you really love, go out, say, love you. Use this word. This is an antidote to stress. This is the discipline. This is the constant. This is the medicine that acts like magic in stress. The close relationships, physical relationships, are very, very helpful and beneficial in stress. You know, why we have massage therapy. Massage is physical. When you do exercise, that's physical. When you hug someone, that's becoming physical, and it transfers your negative energy into the environment and transfers the positive energy of the person in you. It makes you feel sad. If you feel relaxed. Have you ever observed when people are sad? For example, if there's an accident in somebody's family, people come and hug. This is a natural way to share our griefs, our sorrows, our stresses. This is a natural way. Use it. Use it. There's a word written, spend emotional time. Now, this is very important. We will be talking about time management. There are two types of time we can spend with ourselves or our family or our college, schools and our offices, our colleagues. One is time calculated in hours. I've spent 8 hours, I've spent 5 hours, I've spent 3 hours, I spent whole day. And then there is another time calculated in terms of emotions. The quality of time is not calculated in hours, but in emotions. If you spend 10 minutes of emotional time with your family, it's better than spending 8 hours of emotional less time with your family. When you are with them, use and access all positive emotions and talk to them with emotions. Feel their emotions. Express your emotions. Appreciate others' emotions. Even if they are angry with you, appreciate. That's because they love you. They have expectations from you. Appreciate them. Develop the habits of giving gift to self and others. Yes, you should give gift to yourself. That's a good habit. So managing relationship requires managing emotional energy. Invest your emotional energy in others. They will invest their energies in you. And that is what you need. And as I said, don't look for a perfect life partner. That's nonsense. Everybody comes with his or her own weaknesses. And that's the beauty of the person. We are a package. We accept the package. The package comes with strengths and weaknesses. The person has accepted me with my weaknesses. Why shouldn't I accept other with their weakness? There's no perfect partner. There's no one. So don't look for weaknesses or strengths. Look for the whole person. Understand the weakness side. Don't push the person in the weakness. Leverage the strength. Support in weakness. It's like cricket team or hockey team or football team. If one is a batsman, other is a bowler. Bowler is really at the best batsman, but the team use it for strength. A goalkeeper may not be the best midfielder, or may not be the best forward. But we all have our strengths, and that's why we compensate each other weaknesses. Accept them. Don't become stressed because of their weaknesses. Accept them as they are. And yes, once you have accepted them, you can help them improve their some of the weakness, not all. There are some genetic things, personality things that cannot be changed. Some can be, yes. There are certain skills that can be taught. The behaviors can be improved. More conscious results can be achieved. Accept them. Normally we fight because there's a weakness in another person that I say, oh, I don't have this weakness. Why should I tolerate this one? You have your weakness. Why should another person tolerate you? Accept it. That's the beauty of relationship. Relationship only begins when we accept other person with his or her strengths and weaknesses. You mustn't appreciate their weaknesses of other person. You must. And you must appreciate the strengths of other person. That's the how you will act as a team and you will collaborate. Lilith, is there any comment? Saqib is saying home. What do you mean by Saqib?
I think he's finding it interesting.
Saqib, home. So what do you mean by home? That's an interesting comment, Saqib. There's a question, how much compromise or sacrifice is good for a person? It's just like a question, how much meat or how much pulses and how much bread is good for a person? Relationship is based on sacrifice. How much sacrifices your parents have given for you? Have you ever asked them, how much is good? When you sacrifice, have your heart this big. Don't expect return from them. The problem is we start expecting return from them. I have done so much sacrifices for you. You have never done anything. That's the problem. The problem is with you then. Have big heart. All sacrifices are good and there's no limit to sacrifice. You should understand life is all about sacrifices. You have sacrificed a lot. Your friends have sacrificed a lot. Your parents have sacrificed a lot. But the only person who complains is the person who is not sacrificing, who's expecting the return of the sacrifices. Stop it. Don't do this thing. When other person take you for granted, be assertive. There are certain sacrifices that should not be made because the other person is not good for the health of other person. At that point, you should never make that sacrifice because that will create a bad habit, bad attitude, bad approach. Never make that sacrifice. For example, let me share one thing. There's a person in my I know who will always come for loan. Always come for a loan. I gave one time, two times, and product is not working. He's avoiding work. He's finding easy way out. Stop. I said, no, go and work. So understand when it should not be taken for granted. If you have given a loan, the person must repay. Make sure. So sacrifices, good, but when they are creating bad habits, not good. That's the wisdom. Uh, Compromises are could be one way, could be two way. It does not matter. Your mother, your father, your siblings, they all sacrifice. It could be one way or two way. When you do sacrifices and other person understands and appreciates, it becomes two way. If other person not is appreciating, the other person thinks it's his right. I'm sorry, that's one way, and it does not work in that way. Okay, let's move forward. Humor is good for stress. Laugh aloud. Should have good laughs. It reduces the amount of cortisol and adrenaline in your body. It gives you positive energy. Okay. Uh, so we have covered thinking. We have covered work and lifestyle. And by the way, sleeping. Uh, 6 hours sleep is necessary. It's a minimum for your body, and 8 hours is the maximum for your body. Above 8 is bad, less than 6 is bad. But the beauty of sleep is it can be it accumulates. So you can, if you are sleeping for 4 hours for a few days, you will sleep for 8 hours for 2 days. On the average, it will be okay. So, but less than 6 hours a day is unhealthy, and more than 8 hours a day is unhealthy. Okay, Ji. Okay, let's move to time management. The concept of time and goal are intertwined. They are linked. If you have only one goal, there's no issue of time management. Then all the time will go to that goal. The issue of time management comes when you have multiple goals in your life, not multitasking, multi-goals. There's a difference between multitasking and multi-goals. Multitasking is doing two things at one time. For example, I'm talking to you and I'm playing with my phone, that's multitasking. Or when you are driving and you are using your mobile phone, that's multitasking. But having multi-goal is something different. So time management and goals are very, very closely linked. So most of the stress comes when we do not manage our time, when we do not manage our projects, when we cannot identify the priorities, what is the priority right now. For that, you have to take time management courses, and time management, by the way, are habit. And habit means you do something regularly again and again consciously. It becomes a habit. For example, you have to write your things to do every day and prioritize them. And at the end of the day, you must see what did you achieve and what was carried forward. You must write down the critical things that you must do. That's a habit. You have to develop the habit of planning. How much time will it take? And planning your journey, your work accordingly. And you have to develop the habit of saying no. There is no time management if you cannot say no. A doctor approached me and said, Mubin, I'm very, very tired. I need your help in time management. I said, okay, so what can I do for you? He said, teach me how to manage my time. I go at 9 a.m. and come back at 2 a.m. Said, what is this like? Said, what can I do? My patients keep on coming and I cannot say no. I said, that's the problem. You don't need time management. You need to learn how to say no. Once you say no, then there you start time management. For example, you are studying for something, you are doing a work, and you have allocated 1 hour for that thing. As soon as that 1 hour is over, say no to that task and move to another task. Or reallocate consciously another slot of time for that task if you feel it will take another 1 hour. And take that time from another slot that is not that priority. So that is how you have to manage. So time management is very important. That's why at times you feel when you have in driving, when you don't manage your time, you drive fast. That creates pressure. When you are planning to go to a meeting, you complete your assignment in the last minute. You don't manage your projects. It's time management. So when you manage your time, your stress will be reduced. You will be better organized. And by the way, organized lifestyle. If you live in a clutter, you will be stressed. If things are all scattered around, you'll be stressed. Clean environment, organized environment reduces amount of stress. So you look at your tables, at your rooms, at your houses, in your almirahs. If it's scattered, that means you have a stress-based personality. You create stress. You cannot work there. Organize yourself. Your stress will go down. Usman Yusuf said, person being assertive and having right attitude will not experience stress impacts. No, he will. He will, but he will be able to manage it. Remember, life is just like this, ups and downs, ups and downs. You will go into stress and negative stress, but then you have the ability to get out and become positive again. So it will be going like this and this. But the impact of negative stress will be less damaging as compared to the person who is not assertive. An assertive person knows how to manage and stress. Can there be right technique to manage stress that works in all situations? I've told you there's no one technique, but the one technique is positive thinking, change your thoughts. Yes, it works in all situations. It works in all situations if we do it properly. Stress is again related to your thought patterns. I want you to study people who work in a stressful environment, who have lots of stress in their life, how they cope positively. You will find out that it's here, always here. Change it, work here. Goals. Now let's look at goals. How to set goals. You might have known the SMART methodology of goal setting. Let me just recorrect some things. When you set goals, they have to be specific, measurable, ambitious. Should be relevant to your life and time bound. So goals have a time element built in them, and goals have to be ambitious. Goals must create positive stress in you. That's the beauty. Goals must create positive stress. If goals are not creating stress in you, they are not the goals. The right goals create right amount of stress. And right amount of stress is a high level of positive stress. Okay. Now we are coming to the end of the session with two more skills to go, exercises and spirituality. And before I move into this, I would like to say if you have any questions. That I can answer. If you have any comments, please write your comments. So far, what is your comment? What have you understood so far? Have you understood your thinking, how to change your thinking?
Can we have a feedback about the session while you're asking this question? There's a poll that we can run very quickly.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So we are running the poll now.
Make the announcement and.
So we are running a midterm poll about the session. How are you feeling right now? How is the session going? So it's for 1 minute open. Please answer.
when you encourage them to respond, about 30% respond.
I would like please respond with how are you finding this seminar? We need your responses so that we can enhance and improve this thing. It's your support. Yeah.
What is your question? Participants, your valuable feedback is required. So please participate in the poll question.
Okay, there is a question. Oh, sorry. Please give your opinions. Done. So what's the result?
Close the poll and we will continue.
Okay. So there is a question. What is the difference between stress and anxiety? And if you look at Google it, you will find out both are the same except when anxiety being a disease, mental disorder. It's a sustained mental level. It's a mental in which your brain, you become so stressed, your brain, that you become anxious, anxiety that needs to be treated. So it's a little higher level of stress. Okay, let's move towards the last two sessions. Exercises and spirituality. Okay, now I'm getting ready for exercise, you know. When we exercise, the negative hormones, the cortisol and adrenaline, are absorbed by the body, because exercise is a condition that is opposite of stress. And brain believes that now there's no more stress. And when I say brain believes, please don't mind. When I say you have to tell your brain what to think. Yes, I'm serious. I'm not joking. You have to tell your brain what to think. Go and watch a video by Mel Robbins, Motivation is Garbage, for example, one. Or you can go and watch videos on NLP. I talked about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that talks about, that's a whole psychological field of psychology, NLP, that says you can program your brain. That means you can tell your brain what to think. And that's what, when I'm saying, convert your thinking into positive. That's, you are telling your brain what to think. So when we do exercise, we tell our brain, I'm happy, I'm exercising, I'm not stressed. So when we do stress exercises, it helps our body to improve. There are two types of aerobic and anaerobic exercises. But broadly, this can be converted into, as you could say, aerobic, muscular strengthening, muscular endurance, and flexibility. They are different types of exercises. But when we say exercise, what do we mean? That's a very important question. What is the meaning of exercise? Exercise means, as per doctors, in the dictionary in the medical dictionary, medical terminology, exercise means doing any physical activity which raises your heartbeat for higher than 120 beats per minute for 10 minutes. For each age, there is a goal, heart rate goal. You should identify it with your doctor. Okay, what is your ideal goal for your heart rate? You should achieve that heart rate goal. And the duration of exercise should not be less than 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And minimum, it should be 3 times a week. Ideally, every day. But if it's not possible, do it 3 times a week. You must, and jogging, not fast running, light jogging, walking, they are 2 miles. Walking for 2 miles, brisk walk for 2 miles is as good as any exercise in the world. 2 miles. Just brisk walk. Don't stroll, walk with your jogging shoes on and your back straight. Walk straight. 2 miles. It will reduce all the negative effects of stress on your body. Let's do little exercises here. A very common that you can do it while sitting, and I want you to do with me. So that's called PMR, or progressive muscle relaxation techniques. When we are working in an environment where we feel tired, what we need to do is to relax our muscles. You know, as we have discussed, when we are stressed, we are tired, our muscles get tense. We feel tired. So in this exercise, what we will do, consciously stretch them and then we'll consciously release them. This creates a blood flow in our muscles and helps us overcome the negative effects of stress. Now, what we need, we will start from one point of the body and go to the end, from one end to the other end. Let's start with my fist. Clench your fist. Clench your fist. Tighter. Release them. Feel the blood flowing in your arms. Clench your fist. Tighter. Release them. Move your fist like this, your biceps. Oh, sorry, biceps are here. This arm side muscles. Stretch them. Release them. Stretch them. Release them. Do like this. Stretch them. Release them. Now your shoulders. Straight and do like this. Stretch them. Release them. You can do both shoulders at one time. And this is what we do. Stretch them, release them. Stretch them, release them. A very, very good exercise for your thyroid is this one. Touch your earlobe to your shoulder. Don't move your shoulder up. Touch this. Step. When you do that, press it. Press it hard on one side. Then push your chin upward so that your head moves back. You coming back. Then put your chin on your chest and push it down. Push it down. Relax. Foreheads. Put a wrinkle on your foreheads. Move your mouth. Strongly press your eyelid together. Now stretch your abdomen muscles. Stretch your abdomen muscles. Now go to your thighs. Stretch your thighs, your leg. Stretch it. Feel the tightness in your thigh muscles. Release them. Now feel the tightness in your calf muscles. Raise your leg. Move your foot like this. Tighten your muscles. Move your feet like this and like this, like this, like this, like this. Curl your fingers of your feet like this. Curl them. So stretch every muscle of your body. Do it for 5-10 minutes. You can do it while sitting anytime. And after that, you will feel the flow of blood and heat. That's good. Your body is relaxing. Make it a habit at least twice a day. Especially this one. This one is very good. This excellent. This enhances your immune system. This exercise. This exercise. When we are tired, we have a pain over here. Ask someone to do the massage. When we do this, you see, we feel relaxed. It's between the shoulder blades. This is called progressive muscle relaxation. Many techniques are available on net. Go and watch, but practice them. They are very, very useful. Exercises, make it a habit. For example, I normally do 3 to 4 times a week exercise, and I do around 2 kilometer walking and around 45 minutes of swimming. And on alternate days, I do some lightweight exercises, gym exercises. When I go to my office, I don't use elevator. I use stairs. Without exercise, your life quality cannot be improved. It's only when we say, I don't have the time. See, that's a time management issue. There's never a time. We create time. And I'm again saying, we create time. Now understand this logic. When we say to someone, yeah, I'm very busy these days, I don't have the time. You are actually saying that person, okay, you don't want to meet that person. But if there's an emergency, you will create all the time in the world. The world will not stop if you are not there. You will stop because you are not doing practicing exercises. Find time when you come back from the office, on the way back, stop. Take 1 hour on the way back, stop in a gym, stop in a park. Take time out. As soon as you reach home, put on your joggers, start running, start walking. Take some friend along, your spouse along, somebody along, let's walk. After dinner, do this walk. But you must find time. You need to create time. Otherwise, there's no sense. We all be burnt out. Weekends are there. Get up early in the morning. Do that exercise. Don't find excuses. It's very easy. What I have done, I have got the membership of my family in the gym. So I go home, I pick up my kids, and we go there. So it's an incentive for me that I have to take my kid over there. So we both go and we do exercises. So find somebody who can push you. If you are lazy, find an incentive. Are you waiting to get really sick? Exercises, play some game. Just walk, jog, weightlifting, badminton, squash, I don't know, any game, except sitting on and playing a board game. That it can be played in its own time. You can play cards and everything, but you must do some physical activities. In the last 5 minutes, I will share meditation with you, the techniques of meditation, spirituality. Spirituality literally means your relationship with the nature, your relationship with some superior being, your relationship with your own self. A spiritual person is at ease with himself and his environment. A spiritual person is at ease with nature. A spiritual person is at ease with God. A spiritual person, a person who has got good spirit, prays because he understands there's a friend out there. In almost all the religions that I have studied or have come across, meditation is there. In almost all the religions, because meditation helps you become at ease with your own self. So let me share with you some techniques of meditation. There are many techniques. There are many types of meditation, not one. Yoga teaches meditation. And very common in the world, people go to yogis to learn meditation. Every religion has its own method of meditation. So there is no right and the wrong way. The question is, are you doing meditation? And let's again revisit the biology of stress, hormones creating all the havoc in our body. Our breathing becomes shallow, our muscles becoming stressed, our blood becoming thick, all these things. When we do opposite of these things, stress is reduced. For example, when we're talking about meditation, in stress, our breath becomes shallow. We take fast breathing. In meditation, we just do the opposite. We do slow breathing. So opposite. When we are exercising, we are stretching our muscles on purpose. So that's create a different effect. And then we release the muscle, so we give our brain this thing, I'm in command. I'm doing it. It's not the stress. So brain does not read it as a stress. It reads it as an exercise. And exercise is a positive meaning of something. You are exercising logic, you are exercising something. So you are exercising your body. So when you exercise your right in your will, brain reads it differently. It's not stress. It's decision. And brain acceptance. Right? So let's understand meditation. And I want you to read this quote. This is from a book called Flow. And by the way, flow is a very, very interesting concept. There's another word for the flow called zone, the zone. And those who are of you who know, who are good in athletics, they know this word. This is a word of athletes, top athletes. When they are performing at their best, it is said they are in the zone. They're performing at the best. Effortless performance, they break world records. The other word is flow. Flow and the zone, they are the same thing. So the book on flow is available on the web. It tells you how to come into that zone, and that's what I'm going to help you learn that art. I want you to read it. It's beautiful. It is not the result of good fortune or random chance. It is not something that money can buy or power can command. It does not depend upon outside events, but rather how we interpret them. Happiness, in fact, is a condition that must be prepared for, cultivated, and defended privately by each person. Is a condition that must be prepared for, cultivated, and defended privately by each person. People who learn to control inner experience will be able to determine the quality of their lives, which is as close as any of us can become happy. So happiness is something that is a choice that we create. Let me just see if there are any questions. Okay, so far no questions. Okay, now let's move to this meditation. Now, an important concept in meditation is the concept of brain waves. Now, if you talk to a doctor, the doctor will tell you our brain has different frequencies of working. There's a called EEG, an instrument like ECG that measures the frequency and the heartbeat. EEG measures the frequency of your mind. Brain frequency varies from very low 1 to 2 megahertz to as high as 40 hertz, 50 hertz per second. Each state, each frequency has its own name. The frequency that we are experiencing right now in our conscious state is called beta state. This is between 14 to normally 30, 20, 25 normal state. Normally we 18, 19, 20. When it's go higher than 20, our brain starts thinking very fast and sometimes confused thinking and thinking where we have no control starts to occur. The state of deep sleep is the theta state or delta state. It depends upon the amount of it. For example, when we are unconscious under medication, it's basically delta state. The alpha state is the ideal state in meditation that we are talking about. It is the state in medical science, it is called REM, rapid eye movement state, in which we all come twice in a day, before we wake up and just after we go into sleep. So REM, it's also called REM, the alpha state. Alpha state has the brain frequency of between 11 to 14 hertz, 11 to 14 hertz, the frequency of the brain when brain operates at that frequency, that is called alpha state. The scientists, the psychological brain scientists have identified alpha state to be a special state where mind-body link-up is at the best. And deep meditation is basically at this alpha or theta state. At this state, because the lower we go into sleep then. And in sleep, we are not medicated. So it's a conscious state of brain waves, which is active at a very specific level. So let's go see how to go into alpha state. And meditation will help us in going into alpha state. To do meditation, you must have an environment which is quiet, right? It may be lit, it may be dark, but too much darkness is not good. Light is preferable. And you must know your reason of meditation, what do you want to achieve. That objective, that goal that you want to achieve is very critical in that meditation. And by what my personal experience is meditation, you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything if you want to know. And meditation can be done at any place, in any form. But that means you can be sitting on a chair, or you could be lying down on a bed, or you could be sitting on a floor. There's no particular position. Some people prefer lotus position. If you understand, okay, no, I don't care. You can start while you are sitting on a chair like you are right now. You can start meditation. You can lie down and do meditation. But the problem in lying down and doing meditation, you immediately go to sleep. So you do not remain awake for long. While in meditation, which is the duration 10 to 15 minutes, you should be awake to get the proper results of meditation. So best is you should be sitting, and while you are sitting, your back should be straight. It should not be curved. There should be no curve. Your back should be straight. It should not be like this, right? It should not be moved slouched. It should be straight. So if you're sitting, your neck should be straight. When your neck is straight, your back almost automatically becomes straight. Right? Then your fingers should be clasped, closed. This closing will put you in a state called closed state. So in meditation helps you become close to environment. If you might have seen Buddha sitting like this, closed state. This is an energy state. Forget about this thing, but close yourself, right? Now meditation is all about breathing. It's all about breathing. When you control your breathe, you control the frequency of your mind. Again, we go back to the biology. If there is a high speed of breathing, that means your brain is working at a very high speed. Your brain is working at beta or higher level of betas. You should go down. Brain waves should go down to a level. So the slower you take breathe, slower will become the functions of your brain. So it has a link. Your breathing has a link with your brain. Right? Your back has a link with your brain. Remember, when your back is slouched, your brain thinks you are lazy. When back is straight, your brain thinks, you have to cheat your brain. You have to teach your brain. You have to program your brain. It should be under your control. The brain should not be controlling you. There's a philosophy, there's a big debate in it. So, and when you meditate, you should increase that time gradually from 5 minutes to 10, 15, 20, 40. But should stop. You should not go beyond 20, 30 for certain reasons. Forget it. While you are meditating, focus on your breathing in the first step. I will be teaching you the initial methodologies. What you will do, sit with your arms clasped, close your eyes or you don't, doesn't matter. Take a deep breath from your nose. And when we say deep breathing, meditation requires deep breathing. Now, deep breathing is opposite of shallow breathing. Shallow breathing, you do it from your chest. Deep breathing, you do it from your diaphragm, from your stomach. When you do deep breathing, imagine there's a balloon in your stomach. When you take in the breath, the balloon should go up. When you exhale, the balloon should go down. When we take breathing in which our stomach moves backward towards my back, that's a negative breathing, that's not a deep breathing. That creates stresses. So when you, for example, just to practice, lie down and take a deep breath. You will feel your stomach is going up like a balloon. This is the right method of deep breathing. People take deep breath when their stomach goes down. No, that's a wrong method. That's your chest becomes filled. No, that's negative. That's again stress. It creates stress. So take a deep breath in which your stomach goes up like a balloon. So imagine you are filling the balloon in your stomach. Hold your breath for a few seconds, 1-2 seconds, and release it from your mouth without making too much sound. Don't whistle. Don't do that. And while you stop, when you take a deep breath, hold And in the whole process, keep on focusing on your breathing. Don't do anything else. Just focus on your breathing. Take a breath, hold, do it 5 times. Five times. Knocks from your nostril, take a deep breath, feel your stomach goes up, hold for a few seconds, let it grow out easily. Observe this pen, don't do anything, just observe. This is one method. This will put you in the state of mindfulness because now you are observing your breathing, you're observing your body, and observe how your sensations are changing. You might feel lightness in your arms or in your chest, in your legs or in your head. Feel that. Keep on doing it, right? Do it for at least 1 week, this thing. Once you have understood, now what will happen, as soon as you will start this thing, thoughts will start to come up in your mind. That's natural. That's simply natural. The thoughts will start coming in your mind. There will be lots of thoughts coming in from everywhere. I have to go there, I have to do this, I have to do that, I don't have this time over here, and all these things. All you need to do is to just acknowledge those thoughts and focus on breathing again. You don't have to answer or do anything. Just revisit and refocus your thought on your breathing. Take a breath, hold, release, observe. So your thoughts will go away. After a few minutes, they will again come. Slowly, slowly, the amount of thoughts, they will go down. So as soon as thought comes, don't fight. Don't say, oh, I'm doing meditation, it's not happening, it's not happening. No. Focus back on your thought, on your breathing. Gap. Observe when you stop and when. Once you have done that, let's move to the second step, which is much more common. And by the way, when you are doing this, think of love, think of positivity. Never think of negativity while meditation. Never. Because you are going to destroy everything. It is going to multiply everything in your life. So if you want to multiply happiness, focus on happiness. If you want to multiply sadness, focus on sadness. While you are meditating, focus on love and positivity and everything. Then there is another method, a very popular method. This is called mantra method, very common in our Hindu and Buddhist culture. And in Islamic culture, we also have this tradition of mantra, but mantra is just a word that we repeat. It could have a meaning or may not have a meaning. It's any word that we repeat and we become in a trance. For example, in our Hindu tradition, people used to say Om. In Islamic tradition, there is word Allahu, and with the stress on who. And in other traditions, there are methodology of numbers. We count numbers. We say aloud some numbers, some words, some phrases. For example, I want to say something. I'm very intelligent. I'm very intelligent. So I keep on intelligent. I'm intelligent. I keep on repeating that word. So these are all mantras. But common mantras are in Hindu is Om, and in Islamic methodology it's Allahu. I normally, or it could be any other verse that you want, or any other if you follow Bible, you can use any Bible verse. It's up to you. But it's a small verse that you can easily repeat and that can be repeated with the sound, with the breath. So when you take in one breath, you repeat. So it's a breath, word with the breath. While the Om comes with the breath and goes out with the breath. Allah who comes with the breath and goes out with the breath. So you have to find. So what happens, but first you have to do this focusing, and then you will, after that, you can find your mantra, your word, and when you take that breath, so you repeat that word up again and again. So that's one thing. But very common methodology is visualization in meditation. A very common that almost all sects use, and I will help you in that visualization before I close this one. In visualization, what happens? It has been experimentally proven. Whatever I'm saying now, right now, if you count back from 100 to 1, by the time you will reach 40, you will be an alpha. So what you need to do is to again first start with your breathing practice, focus on that, and once you are stable there, start counting backward with very slowly 100 and imagine the word 100, see it written in the air. Then count 99, imagine the word 99, see it in the environment. So move back every time, taking a breath, holding your breath and imagining it. There's another methodology where people say, imagine you are in a park, you are in a sea beach, you are in a mountain with colors and you feel the breeze. So imagine something, positive results. Imagine something. Have a picture that you hold here. Because when we focus on a picture, our mind frequency goes down. Focus, create a picture. It could be a home, it could be green picture, it could be golden, it could be a mountain, it could be any picture that you want. It could be 1 or it could be 8. Any picture, and you have to hold it in your brain. You see it. Close your eyes and see 1. Take a deep breath. Count. See 1. Hold it there for a few seconds. Exhale. Take a deep breath. Hold. Visualize 1 or visualize 2. So visualization, the more you can visualize, the higher your brain activity in the terms of alpha state you will move. And once you are in alpha, you will feel a total calmness around you. And your body will be at ease. And whatever you want at that alpha stage will be happening around you. It takes time. It takes time. But meditation, do. Just for the sake of it. It relaxes your entire. One deep breath gives your brain a message you're not stressed, because deep breathing is just opposite of your shallow breathing. So as soon as you take 3 deep breaths, you are out of stress. That's all. That's all it takes. Take 3 deep breaths and you are out of stress. Because your shallow breathing is the first symptom of stress. Reverse it, do it. And or when you're feeling stressed, jump, and shout. You're out of stress. So let's summarize. There are many methods of stress management, but all starts with mindfulness, with the objective and understanding that you want to manage stress. And stress is a result of your thought process. First thing, you must identify the positive and the correct method of thinking, how to convert this negative into positive. And if your body has been suffering because of stress, you can recover from that using exercises and love therapy. Exercises will remove the negative aspects and will rebuild. Plus food. You should immediately change the quality of food that you are eating. Don't go for fats, don't go for carbonated drinks, don't go for junk foods. Healthy foods, eat healthy foods. It will help you recover and reheal your body. Use meditation and prayers a lot. Meditation and prayers connect you with the nature, with yourself, with God. And that's where we can lay all our troubles. We can seek solution. Identify help of your relatives, your friends, your parents, your siblings, your spouses. Ask for help. Be open. There's no shame in saying, I am feeling trouble here. There's no shame. Everybody feels the same. We are all humans. Reach out. Hug people. Love yourself. Give yourself challenge. Be excited about your life every day. Whatever you are doing, be excited about it. Add value in your life. In whatever you do, add value. Seek every daily learnings. Spend positive time with yourself and your family, emotional time. Manage your emotions. If you have to become angry, become angry with a reason. Explain the reason why are you angry. Don't become angry. First explain why you are angry. Give the person reason to be angry. This is the reason I am angry. And seek his advice. How can the person manage the situation? Maybe your expectations were wrong. You had no idea. Recreate your relationship with yourself and others. Live a happy life. Live a healthy life. Live a positively stressed life. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful. You will be more positive in your life. Remember me in your prayers. Get connected. Bye and Allah Hafiz. If you have any comments, I'm open to your comments.
One short announcement before we formally sign off. As far as the video recording and presentation is concerned, let me tell you that this presentation and video will be shared with everybody who had registered for this session in next 2 to 3 working days. So you can certainly refer to that.
Thank you very much. It was pleasant talking to you all. See you again next time. Ciao.